Diane, you and I have heard these stories of survival in every neighborhood we have visited, right down to the 9-year-old boy who knew enough to put on his bike helmet before he dove into the bathtub. But tonight we are also hearing the stories of the missing.
As the storm clouds hover over this battered city, a painful realization. Likely far more missing than anyone knows. Still, no official number. And tonight, rescue teams are back, canvassing neighborhoods.
On every street now, you see teams like the one here behind me doing what's called a secondary search. These are firefighters from St. Louis going home to home to make sure that there's nobody left inside, actually marking the homes with X's, a sign that they didn't find anyone.
There's still a lot of people unaccounted for. So.
Do we have any idea how many people are still missing?
He simply shakes his head. Even the mayor here acknowledges he has no idea. And there was a different sign spray painted on this pickup truck, a phone number, a family looking for a 12-year-old boy, his parents in the hospital. He is still missing.
He was last seen in a bathtub. We've not been able to locate the bathtub.
He's about 6'3".
As we drove through Joplin,
150 pounds.
Descriptions of the missing on the radio.
Wow.
And then there are the survivors. Today we brought Natalie Gonzalez back to her home for the first time. She, her boyfriend, and her 9-year-old son survived here.
So you were all huddled right here in the tub?
Yes.
Acting on instinct, her 9-year-old boy put on his bicycle helmet. The toilet flew and hit him in the head, but he had that helmet on until the twister tore it off.
So he still had the strap, but the helmet had been sucked away.
Ripped off.
And then we found it.
That's it.
Is there any question in your mind that the helmet saved your son?
I know the helmet saved my son.
For Natalie and her boy, it was the bathtub and the helmet that saved him. And for so many of the families here, it was that basic instinct, that survival mode about where to go in the house to survive this. In fact, take a look, a sort of 360-degree view here of the neighborhood. You can see every home flattened, every tree severed, and really all the way back in this direction over the bathtub. It's extraordinary when you think about how many people did survive.
I believe I was probably right here, right in that area.
And you had to crawl out.
Yeah, I crawled out.
At 6'6", Steve raced to his tiny closet in the center of his home, no windows, like so many others who race to a closet or a bathroom. And it turns out it was that same instinct that helped save those terrified people at that convenience store. We now know about 20 people hid inside a walk-in freezer, its walls nearly 10 inches wide, protecting them even as that twister shook the store.
Cannot imagine how that little boy knew how to put on a helmet to think that fast, and in the bathtub too.
There was so many warnings in the last several weeks about tornadoes. He'd been watching television with his mother, and he'd heard on TV that children might want to put on bike helmets. So when the sirens went off, he raced to the helmet before the bathtub.